everyone, welcome to my review of Transformers Studios Series number 41, Deluxe Class Revenge of the Fallen Scrapmetal. The next component according to the RNG that I have to review, and a figure that I have heard a lot of complaints about, but also, this is once again, and also for the last time, the knockoff, because this is actually Byway Roll. I don't actually know if it's Byway, but it always seems to be them, so I'm just gonna give them credit even if it's not them. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, Roll, that's his name. Very original. As you can see here on the side, he has a bunch of transformation sequences in order to get into the vehicular form. He can also, I guess, be part of the Devastator through the Deformation movie series. Nice little image right there, the Super Warrior. And then here we have the rest of the arm from Devastator, and here we have Roll. So let's get the box out of here. And let's look at Scrapmetal, shall we? The guy that was actually dead before the Egypt stuff even happened, because this thing was ripped apart in order for Megatron to live again. Killed the little one. And this was actually the little one. So how is Devastator there? But you know what, we don't need to talk about that, because while Devastator was sucking a pyramid, we had the fact that Long Haul, Mixmaster, and Scrapper were off doing other things. I mean, for crying out loud, Mixmaster was dying to Jetfire while Devastator was doing his stuff. So they got multiple copies, let's say that. But overall, I think this guy looks good. However, as people have complained about with this figure, is the fact that this guy is a bit too simple. Doesn't really look all that movie-esque. I think he barely does the movie stuff. I mean, he does have the chickeny leg and the squeaky because of this, because of his feet going over here. And also, this guy is not broken, so I am actually having a positive experience with a knockoff once again. Seems like the knockoffs that I've bought overall have been not really that terrible. I have no idea where Thew Adams buys his knockoffs, but mine apparently have been better, if I'm being honest there, because I like these figures themselves overall. I mean, yes, I did have some paint issues with first movie. Megatron, Hightower broke, kind of. But overall, the knockoff scene has given me some good stuff. However, I will still recommend you buy the original version. But as someone who kind of started collecting later, yeah, this guy was way overpriced. So now let's take a look here at his face, shall we? We got the nice black face here with the red piercing eyes and the yellow head around it. It kind of is a bit movie-esque, but also kind of lesser of the movie-esque. Then you got the nice detailed chest here, where most of the movie stuff is probably coming from. Then we have the arms as well, very nice, very nice. And then the side of the arms, here we go. We got the nice opening hands here, which are actually made out of a part of the vehicle mode, which I like that a lot. We also have his waist here as well, and his threads that are very actually unique in the way that they work. And then finally here we have the big claw just packaged on top of his back right here, glancing around his booty in order to hold on for dear life. But overall, a very nice, I like the black parts coming through the yellow, big fan of that. I like this guy, even though movie design wise, he doesn't really look all that alien necessarily. It's kind of like an in-between of like Transformers Age of Extinction and the first three movies, where it's like human-made and Cybertronian, kind of. So then, let us look at the accessories, which this guy actually comes with. However, I will not be able to accurately portray the accessory the way that it's supposed to go, because he just basically comes with this slab here. This slab here, he comes with this thing, which is actually a detachable part. Now, as you can see, I've put some tape around it here, and that is because of the fact that on the knockoff version, the tab is not big enough to be able to go where it's supposed to go for Devastator. So I put a bunch of tape around it in order to make that work. However, now it won't go into the place where it's supposed to go, which is right here on the arm. It is now too thick to go into the arm. But basically, that is where you plug this piece in here. I don't know why this is a detachable piece, but it is a detachable piece nonetheless. Maybe it's because of the way that the Constructicons combine and all that stuff. So now let's get this thing out of here, because basically it's just a part for Devastator. It just comes with a piece of that. And let's look at this guy's articulation. And looking at the fact that this guy is a normal figure, he has mostly normal articulation. Starting off at the head, it can rotate left and right. And you also have a little bit of up and and down action as well. Then you have the arms that can rotate fully in and out as well. A bicep swivel thanks to the ball joint. And also his hand can open and close, but also move up and down as well. And then he has no waist, as you can see in here. There is just no waist. They probably could have made a cut there in order to put a waist in there. But because of the way that this transforms, kind of like this, that is just not gonna really happen in order to make a waist rotation happen. I feel like maybe they could have still done some, and also the fact that we have the crane here. Yeah, maybe it just wasn't possible though. Anyway, then we have a forward and a backwards on the leg as well. Some in and out. By the way, this leg can go all the way back. This one cannot because this piece here is sticking out, sadly enough. But then we have a nice leg rotation, which is a little bit tight. So the ball joint likes to pop out, but like he has a like a knee swivel here as well, but it is a bit tight like I said. He also can actually fully extend his leg if you want to, or go chicken leg. It is all your choice. And then his feet can move down, and that is about it. No ankle tilts. But here I understand why there are no ankle tilts. But overall, he is looking very nice. Big fan of the way that he looks, even though he doesn't look fully on movie design-wise. But I like the paint job. Maybe that's what's doing it. So then let's move straight into this comparison. So let's bring in the leaders first. So here we got Scrapmetal next to Megatron, Starscream, and the Fallen himself, looking very nice and also very tiny. I do now get why we have to kill the little one. So here we got all of the Constructicons all together, looking very nice, and like I said before, a lot of yellow. As you can see right there, there's a lot of yellow in this team, but overall he is looking very nice, the Scrapmetal with the rest of these squads. So let's get them out of here and bring in the final size comparison. So here we have Scrapmetal together with Soundwave and Shockwave, looking very nice with the two of them. So let's get them out of here, move Scrapmetal a bit closer, and let's get into that transformation. So let's get the little one transformed as well. So what you want to start off with, you want to fold the hands together like so, and then rotate this piece all the way around. Do the same thing on the other side, rotate this piece all the way around like so. Fold this piece out, get it out of the way, take the crotch piece here and fold it out all the way until you can't fold it out anymore. Fold the feet together as well, fold the feet together as well. Simple thing, simple thing. Then what you want to do is you want to come up here to the back, and what you want to do is you want to take this tab here, there's a tab on that side as well, and you want to slide into that slot. So basically just take this, untab it, rotate it around, and tab it together like so. There you go. Then also you want to untab the chest, fold the head in, and close the chest back up so that the head is gone. Then after that, what you want to do is you want to, like I said, rotate you out of the way. What you want to do is you want to take the thigh swivel and rotate it around so that this aligns with this. Do the same thing on the other side. Straighten out the leg and then rotate it up here so that everything aligns with each other. Rotate the legs around, rotate the legs around like so. What you want to do is you want to take the shoulder joint here and rotate it out like so. Also rotate this around until it sits like this. Do the same thing on the other side, so just take the shoulder joint and rotate it out. We'll finish off, well actually this side we can kind of finish off, because what you want to do is you kind of want to just fold it in upon itself like so. Then what you want to do is you want to take this, and as you can see here, there is an open slot. There is a tab here on the leg thing as well. So you want to take the tab and tab it in here. Do the same thing on the other side, so just tab this bad boy back here together. There you go. Make sure everything is straightened out as it should be. There you are. Then you want to fold this piece here down and in like so. And then with this piece here, there is a tab here on the side that is going to slide into that slot right there. So basically you want to make sure that this thing is fully extended forward so that you can tab this bad boy into the slot here on the side. Like so. There you go. A little bit of fiddling around here and there, but it still worked out. And then I guess to finally finish it off, what you can do is you can take this piece here, and in here there are two tabs right there that go into these two slots. You basically want to line this up like so and tab it in on one side and then tab it in on the other side as well. And then after a little bit of fiddling with him, he's still a little bit wobbly. I don't really know why, but it is also a knockoff, so maybe that is why. But here we have Scrapmetal, the little one, in his vehicular form. So here we have Scrapmetal in his vehicular form. The knockoff, obviously, or as he is also supposed to be called, Roll. And he has the little wheels down here and also here at the front, so he can actually roll. And also he has this thing here at the back, which is just the piece that is supposed to be for the Devastator's leg. So it is very nice. But yeah, he looks pretty cool actually, but also pretty tiny though. But that is because of the fact that he is a deluxe. But it feels like this automatically throws him and also Hightower technically completely out of scale. But none of that matters to me, so let's get in closer here on the details. We got the nice cockpit here at the front. We got the nice threads here on the side as well with the nice silver in there. We got the nice black here, kind of just making sure that the yellow does not fully overtake because the black just shines through as it needs to be. We also have the nice threads on this side. We also have a nice little, like, I don't know, bar or whatever you want to call this here. You got some nice stuff in here as well. The top here looks very yellow. Kind of wish there might have been a little bit more black, but whatever. You can take this piece off. You don't need to attach it at all for transformation. It is just there because I put it there. And then this is what he looks like from the bottom. And even then, he hides himself away pretty well outside of the fact that it's a peekaboo from the back. Hello, peekaboo indeed. I still see you. But overall, not that bad looking. I like the way that this guy looks. He is a little bit wobbly. Maybe there's something I did wrong, slightly wrong during the transformation. But I did peg everything in the way that was supposed to, so I don't get why. Ah well, doesn't necessarily matter to me. It still looks pretty nice. So then, articulation-wise, he does have a bucket and he has an arm here. This arm can go back and forth, as you saw during the transformation. You also have a joint here, which means you can do this. And then the bucket itself can also move up and down as well. So you can literally just like scoop up a bunch of stuff. However, this thing sadly enough can't rotate because it feels like it is just supposed to rotate. But yeah, you're supposed to like... and then a full sand and then... like that. There you go. But yeah, you can still play around with this thing because of all the joints that he has, which is actually very nice, and I'm a big fan of the fact that he can still do all of that. So then, since the accessory is already attached, I guess the only thing left to do is to get into some SAS comparisons. So then, here we have the leaders of the Deceptive, well, the leader, because even in death there's no command but his, except for the Fallen, who did not make it today because I don't feel like transforming that idiot. But here we have Scrapmetal with the one who he got killed for in order to revive, and Starscream as well, looking very nice together. So then let's move you out of the way and bring in the squad, the Constructi squad. So here we got the Constructi squad all together, looking very nice. I am a big fan of the way that these guys look together. It is just good to have a Constructicon set completed fully that can also turn all into robot modes, unlike that Supreme version, and also can turn into Devastator, unlike the individual figures that we got for some of these guys. It is just nice to have this. So then, let's get these guys out of here and bring in Kit. So here we have him next to Kit from Knight Rider, looking very nice as well and very out of scale. So then, let's get into the final size comparison. So here we got him next to Shockwave and Soundwave, as I always like to finish up these videos. And out of scale once again, but out of scale is not too bad. I will say that for all of these guys, by the way. So if it annoys you, I apologize, but yeah. He is out of scale, which I have to mention, but also it doesn't really bother me. Because of course he's out of scale. He was turned into a deluxe. This thing needed to be at least a Voyager class figure, maybe even a Leader class figure in order to be able to be in scale. So let's get them out of here then. Pull you in closer so we can get into that reverse transformation. So let's get good old fashioned Scrapmetal back to his robot mode. So what you want to start off with is if you have this panel attached, untap this panel from in here, which can be a little bit difficult, and since this is a knockoff version, I have to be very careful about this, but get this untapped from in here. Ah! Well, that thing ain't going on ever again. Dang it. Ah, man. Come on, dude. I was careful, too. I was trying my best to be careful as I could be. It just broke off. Yeah, there's no way to get that out anymore, I don't think. No, there's no way to get that out. Ah, well, breakage on camera. It is still a knockoff figure. Anyway, then what you want to do is you want to extend these, also untap this from in here. And then rotate this up, and down like so. After that, what you want to do is you want to take these legs, untap them from in here, and rotate them around. Rotate it up here as well. Do the same thing on the other side. Fold out the feet. Please don't break again. I knew that thing, by the way, was gonna break, so I'm not too upset about it. And rotate this down, and you can then even, if you want to, rotate this piece here. Really? Okay. Rotate this piece up in order to kind of complete it. Also fold out this. Then what you want to do is you want to keep this folded out so that you can grab this, rotate up the head and rotate it back, and then fold this back in like so. There you go. That is basically a lot of him done. Then what you want to do is you want to take these pieces here, rotate them off to the side, and they will tab in here and also in there. So just take this and tap this in. It is not the most secure connection, but that is probably because of the fact of this guy's knockoffy nature. And then rotate out the hand, but I like to rotate the top back because that kind of unlocks that. So then come in here, right here, rotate this out, and then also in here there is another one. This one's a little bit more difficult to get your hand onto, but you can untab it like so to get the arms out. And then finally what you want to do is you want to rotate this up and in like so to really like stick that onto the back. And then also you can chicken leg him, but this is more of like if you want to do that. And there you go. Scrapmetal's back in his robot mood. So Scrapmetal, my friend, I like you. You are not the worst of these guys. However, the breakage that recently happened is not something that I am taking lightly, but it's probably my own fault. I should have never tabbed that in. I should have just been like, hey guys, look, this can tab into there, and then leave it at that. Kind of like what I did with the arm thing. But I don't care. You know what? That thing may be broken, but it doesn't really matter to me all that much. Because still, I feel like even with one tab, tabbing it in can still hold that bad boy into place. But overall, that doesn't matter. What do I think about you? Because this is basically just a piece of Devastator. I like you. I think that you have an interesting design. Yes, it is the least movie-like of the designs, but still, I don't think he deserved to be killed just because he was the little one. There is no need for that one. I like him. I think he's pretty fun. He's got articulation that I like. And also I do like the design. It's kind of like it feels kind of like an in-between. Going from Cybertron to the live action movies. It feels like one of those figures. And also the fact that you can be 3 modes is something that I am also a big fan of. But would I recommend him for deluxe class price point? Sure, why not? I mean, he is a fun figure. However, you have to understand that this figure came out years ago, and there are a lot better figures out nowadays. But if you like this guy, you want to pick him up and you see him for deluxe price point somewhere, yeah, I'd say pick him up. He's a fun little guy. But that has been my review of Transformers Studio Series number 41, Deluxe Class, the little one, also known as Scrap Metal, also known as the knockoff roll. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell, and comment your thoughts on this figure. And please check out my Let's Play channel, linked in the description and at the end of the video. I upload 3 videos every day of different games, but mainly Pokemon. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!